Hi, everybody. It's Monica with American English with Monica. I'm so glad you're here. This is so fun making phrasal verbs videos. And thank you for all of you who have typed questions and requests and comments. I really appreciate it. This week, we have two phrasal verbs, and it was a request from you. So thank you so much. When you type comments and questions, it really helps me become a better teacher for you. I need to know what your questions are. I need to know what my lessons are missing, right? I don't use a script. I make mistakes, and sometimes I don't include all of the definitions. So I'm really glad that you are watching and commenting. It really helps. Let's get started. The check in and check into. This check in has three meanings, and check into has one main meaning, but I'll tell you a second meaning as well. Now, previously, I did a video for the phrasal verb check out. And check out has a lot of meanings. And one of them is similar to check into. So you want to stay tuned to watch that. And I know check out and check into sound like they should be opposite things, but in one of the definitions, they mean the same thing. English, it's so difficult sometimes. But get ready, get your pens. You're going to take some notes. Today we're going to learn these two phrasal verbs. Okay, let's get started. Check in. The first meaning is to register at a hotel. When you arrive, you check in. And when you leave, you check out. So if you didn't see the check out video, make sure you watch that one, okay? So check in means to register at a hotel. You give them your name at the desk. You get your room key. I'm going to write at a hotel, but you can also check in at other events or places. Okay, if you're attending a big party, a formal event, you might have to check in and get your name tag. If you're going to a work convention or a big meeting for your job, you might have to check in. Or if you're at a restaurant and you have a restaurant that takes reservations, when you arrive, you check in with the host to let them know you've arrived and you're ready for your table. These are all meanings for check-in. When we are using it in this context, it's unusual to separate it. It's not grammatically incorrect. You can say, I will check myself in at 4 o'clock, but we usually don't separate it when we're talking about registering at a hotel or a restaurant. I'm going to check in when I get there. Okay? The next meaning we often separate, and that's when we're talking about luggage, or what else can we check in? A coat. When we check something in, we separate it sometimes. I need to check my suitcases in before my flight. This means you are submitting something, kind of like registering it. But for a flight, of course, you would check in your luggage and it would be put on the plane. For a coat, there's often a room at fancy events and hotels and restaurants called the coat check-in or the check-in room. And that's where you can put your jacket or your coat or your bag for the evening. Okay, so when we check something in, we're submitting it temporarily to hold for us. A quick bonus tip about luggage. This is a noun that is not countable. So please don't make the mistake of saying luggages. It's not countable, okay? That noun is always luggage. The plural is luggage. I have a lot of luggage. If you want to pluralize that noun, please use suitcase or bags. I have a lot of suitcases. I have a lot of bags. But luggage, not countable, okay? All right, let's move on to the next meaning of check-in. We've done this one and this one. The last one is so important because this is where I think a student asked me on the comments, what does it mean when we check in on someone? Hi, I'm just checking in. I wanted to check in and see how you're doing. All right, I teach business English. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Monica. A lot of my examples are about the workplace. And if your boss says, I want to check in about your project, they are looking for some new information. If we're checking in on someone, we need an update. Maybe we haven't talked to you in a little while. We want to know how you're doing. We might be a little concerned, right? My friend hasn't called in 3 weeks. I'm going to check in on her. Do you hear the preposition? So when we check in on someone, we are wondering how they're doing. We want to see if there's any new information or an update. This is really important because Americans do this all the time. They say, I'm just checking in, just checking in, just checking in. They're asking how you're doing, especially at work when you're like, your deadline is coming. They want to know if you're within the budget. They want to know if your project is on time. They want to know if you need help. Hey, I'm just checking in. You'll see this in emails. You'll hear this on phone calls. I do this to my friends a lot when we're confirming plans. I just sent a text this morning to a friend and I said, just checking in about our plans next week. Are we still on for lunch? It's like in 2 weeks, but I'm checking in now to make sure. Just checking in. It means I'm communicating with you. I'm wondering how things are going. I'm seeing if there's anything new. It's also a way, if someone's checking in, like a friend, they also want to know, do you need to cancel? Have your plans changed? I'm checking in. So this is such an important phrasal verb to know. And that if you're going to put a name, I'm checking in on my neighbor. I'm checking in on my boss. I'm checking in on my friends. Okay? But if someone's just checking in, they're seeing how you're doing, seeing if there's any updates, or seeing if you need any help, right? We often check in on people after they've been sick for a while. I want to check in on her. Okay, this is a really good one to know. All right, let's move on to check into. Check into has a similar definition of check out. I know, confusing. Check into means to investigate, to research, to turn your attention and your focus into something and ask some questions. Inquire. One of the meanings for check out was to focus on something. You know, check out my videos, check out my new phone, check out his new car. It means just turn your attention, turn your focus and look or watch something. But to take that definition deeper is when we check into it. So I think one of the comments was, if the police are doing an investigation and they're going to check out a person, they're probably going to check into this person. They want to know, is this person involved in the crime? Did this person witness something? We're going to check into it. We're going to check into her. This phrasal verb cannot be separated. When we do research or we investigate, search, and to investigate, to inquire, to ask questions. Now, it's not just for things like a crime, right? This could be a project, or there's a new restaurant. I might want to have my party there, but I need to check into it and see if they have enough room for all of my friends. I love this big party with all those friends. I don't know. Or if there's an offer, right? I got an offer to teach an English class and they're going to pay me $1 million. I need to check into it and see if it's real. I need to verify the facts, ask some questions, find out if it's true. Okay? It's important to check into things before we make a commitment or before we spend money on something. You should check into it, right? Um, I love that phrasal verb, but yeah, don't separate it. That's what it means. The second meaning that's not as common, but I'm just going to mention it because you'll certainly see it in emails and websites, is people use this phrasal verb sometimes to register at your hotel. We say check in. I know that's the one I want you to use. I need to check in at noon. But someone will say check into your hotel when you arrive. And they'll use this phrasal verb, check into. It's not grammatically wrong to say check into the hotel. It's just unusual. We usually would say check in to the hotel with a space. Okay? Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad you're here. If you have questions or comments or more requests, please type them. Like I said, it really helps me be a better teacher for you. It helps you as a student. If you have some questions about the grammar, I'm happy to help. And thank you. Thank you for sharing. One more thing I should mention. I had a few of you request for a live YouTube class, a live video. That sounds awesome. I'd love to do that. If for those of you who follow my channel, I don't use a script. It's pretty much all live. But it would be really fun to have you interacting and asking some questions in real time in a live classroom. And I'm happy to do that. So I think what we'll do is when I get to 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, that's so many people. I can't wait. I think it'll happen. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll do live sessions. All right. We're over halfway there. So if you can share this with your friends and colleagues who are also English learners, that would be awesome. All right. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.